How's it going, everyone? My name is Anthony, aka ComicsRGreat, and welcome back to another one of my videos where I go over the books that I picked up last Wednesday, April 27th on New Comic Book Day, as well as go over the favorite covers that I got and the new books that I'm planning on picking up this coming Wednesday, May 4th. That's right, we're going to be fast forward going into May as we are in May right now and not back in April. This year is just flying by. I don't know how all of you in YouTube land are feeling about this year 2022 so far, but personally speaking, this year is just going in overdrive. I know that time is relative and time always goes at the same pace, but for some reason this year it just feels like it's flying by. All right, so without further ado, let's get this party started before I waste any more time talking about time. All right. So we're going to start with the top comics that I got for this past Wednesday. And I kind of cheated a little bit. There's sort of 5, but not 5. But, well, you'll see what I mean. All right. So the first one on the list is Batman Beyond the White Knight #2. All right. And this is written and drawn by Sean Murphy. And he's keeps on knocking these out of the park. And last issue it ended with Jack Napier, not the Joker, but Jack Napier showing up right in front of Bruce Wayne as he is in Blackgate prison. And you have the whole rest of the characters, Harley Quinn, who has 2 kids as we know it, Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, Barbara Gordon, all right, just to name a few. So like I said, the last no, I didn't talk about this before. So this series takes place after Batman Curse of the White Knight, and because of the issues, because of the stuff that happened between Bruce Wayne and Azrael during that miniseries, Bruce Wayne is in jail, and he requested that they arrest him. Okay, because he felt responsible for all the damage that Gotham had undergone, while he was trying to protect the citizens of Gotham. Okay, and he decided to give out all his wealth, to its citizens, to the middle class and the lower class. Okay, the elites, which were the ones that had been going after Bruce Wayne for the last number of miniseries, they didn't really see a penny, and they got hit pretty hard. But even though Bruce Wayne tried to help out, Derek Powers, who's a familiar name to those of us in the comic book community, he decided to he brought peace to Gotham. Okay, he did. Let me stop myself a bit. He managed to bring peace to Gotham City, but in doing so, he turned Gotham into a police state. And while Bruce has been in prison, he doesn't know this. He's essentially kept himself out of the loop. And Jack Napier, who we don't know if he's alive or not, okay? Because as far as we thought, Harley Quinn shot him, okay? And that she killed him. But he's somehow or other alive as a figment of Bruce Wayne's imagination. Okay, maybe it's something to do with similar to what happened in the movie Batman Beyond, Return of the Joker, where the chip was placed in Bruce Wayne's head. In this case, in the movie, it was Tim Drake's. The Joker took Tim Drake's body for a ride, and an implant was placed in his brain. But this time, Joker's not trying to take over Bruce Wayne's body, but Bruce Wayne can see him. He's the only one who can see Jack Napier, and he's obviously talking to him and whatnot. But is Bruce Wayne crazy? That we don't know just yet. But in any case, so Dick Grayson, as you can see on the cover, he's a part of the GTO, and Bruce comments how the GTO costumes all look similar to Batman, and that's because since Derek Powers is funding the GTO, he decides to open up all the technology which he helped create through the Batman suit and give it to the GTO. So essentially, Bruce Wayne will eventually have to fight all these guys from the GTO with Batman-like powers. Okay, but we learned a few things in this book. I don't want to give away too much, but needless to say, we may be looking forward to seeing a new Batman suit, not just a new Robin suit. Okay, because I've seen some of the future covers for this series, and we see a new Robin and we see a new Batman. Or it could be Bruce Wayne as Batman. I don't know. Uh, I'm looking forward to what Sean Murphy's writing. I went back and reread some of the previous miniseries from the White Knight series, and Sean Murphy is he's done a fantastic job. DC has with the leaving of James Tynion, they've and before him was Jeff Johns, and now they've had these new great writers and Tom Taylor and Sean Murphy and Josh Williamson, okay, that have stepped up and they've given a new life to DC Comics, and I'm looking forward to seeing what Sean Murphy has for the rest of this miniseries, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. So I'm looking forward to issue number 3, which is scheduled to be coming out on Tuesday, May 24th. All right, so the next one I want to talk about is Deathstroke Incorporated number 8. Okay, so this is actually the B cover. The A cover is something else. It's done by John Boy Myers, but I'll be showing that next week as I'll be getting it in the mail. So this one is a homage cover to the original Deathstroke the Terminator number 1 cover. That's right. This cover was done by Mike Zeck, and Chris Burnham, who does the B cover for Deathstroke Incorporated, bases this cover on the original, and he does a fantastic job. You could see, obviously the buildings are different, with the fire and the entire background, but the way he's holding the gun, in general how the suit looks, okay, down to the lettering and the 8th, which back then was the first issue, that all was pretty much the same. Okay, so Chris Burnham, as someone who owns the Deathstroke the Terminator number 1, thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. It's a classic cover, to say the least. And again, thank you very much. But in any case, in the Deathstroke Incorporated, we have part 3 of Batman of the Shadow War storyline that's going on between Deathstroke, Robin, and the Batman series. Okay, and in that case, I might as well bring up Robin number 13. All right, so this week we got two books in 1 week. Okay, since Deathstroke was a little delayed. So we got part 3 in Deathstroke and part 4 in Robin number 13. So they're both written by Josh Williamson. Thank you very much, because I love it when one writer writes the entire crossover, because at least it flows better when you have one writer writing one book, another writer writing another book, a third writer writing a 4th book, and you have the whole crossover going through all of them. Sometimes it feels kind of choppy because each writer has their own writing style. Well, in this case, Josh Williamson just is doing the whole thing on Shadow War, and so he's the only one writing it. Okay, so this cover was done by Roger Cruz, and I haven't seen a Roger Cruz cover in a while. My classic book that I like from Roger Cruz is X-Men Alpha and X-Men Omega, way back in the 1990s. Okay, and that was during the Age of Apocalypse storyline. But in any case, so Deathstroke is on his, he's essentially, on his heels right now, trying to weather the storm that is Talia al Ghul. Okay, her group has been going after his group, pretty hard. All right, some of his people are getting killed, and Batman eventually catches up to him, but he doesn't exactly want to help Deathstroke. He wants to bring him in for questioning. Okay, while Talia's group, what do they want? They want to kill Deathstroke. So one group wants to kill him. One group wants to bring him into custody, but no one wants to hear his side. No one wants to try and at least figure out why someone is impersonating him. Why did someone kill Ra's al Ghul? Why did someone push Talia's buttons to set all this up? Okay. And the only one who's somewhat how willing to listen is Robin, not Batman. Batman is the great detective, but he doesn't want to listen. Okay. But Robin does. Robin somehow believes Deathstroke and his son. All right. So these two issues combined make a great story arc so far. Okay, I believe there are nine issues for this crossover, so this brings the tally up to 4. This coming Tuesday, May 5th, the 5th part of the story, which is Batman number 123, will be coming out. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Can't wait to see what Josh Williamson has in store for us, since this is going to be essentially the middle of the middle of the arc. Okay, so again, like I said, I'm looking forward to it, and let's go to the next one, which is Justice League number 75. Now this, with that kind of a cover, Death of the Justice League, shouldn't come as no surprise. Okay, I questioned whether or not this book would live up to the hype. I think it did a really good job. All right, so this book, not to spoil anything, is essentially going to lead into this summer's crossover of Dark Crisis. Okay, yes, another Crisis event. Okay, it seems like Marvel has their Secret Wars or Secret Avengers. Okay, they have their major crossovers. Okay, but with DC, it's always a crisis level event. We have a secret event on one side, a crisis level event on another side. So, like I said, this is Dark Crisis, which is going to be coming out on June 7th. Just before then is going to be Justice League, The Road to Dark Crisis, which is going to be coming out on Tuesday, May 31st. But I'm looking forward to those crossovers, and don't let the cover fool you. Okay, the Justice League is not alive. Okay, not the core members. All right, a lot of the members of the Justice League die in this issue. Okay, just so yes, the cover does not lie. Death of the Justice League. So I'm looking forward to seeing just how what DC is gonna do. I believe Josh Williamson may be writing Dark Crisis. Don't quote me on that. I haven't exactly looked it up. But I mean, for Josh Williamson to just drop this here and let someone else pick it up, that would be kind of hard to do. All right. But I'm looking forward to that event. This issue, I'll definitely be rereading it a few times just so it's ingrained in me. I don't want to spoil anything. Let me put it this way. There's a lot of heavy duty bad guys in here. There's a lot of familiar faces from previous crisis level events. And one guy has some very strange powers. One that eventually kills off most of these members. Okay. And there's nothing these heroes can do, unfortunately. And last but not least, the last book on my list that I was excited to finally come out this week. TMNT's The Last Ronin, number 5 by Kevin Eastman. It lives up to, I don't know if it lives up to the wait, it lives up to the hype, but, I mean, it was a pretty good story, because since we knew how all the other turtles died, with the previous few issues, So obviously, who's left but Michelangelo? All right. So he has his knockdown, drawn out battle with Oroku Hiroto, okay, who is the last standing member of the Shredder's family, okay, and they have their battle, they have their major battle, and it goes through I would say about half the book, okay. I just kind of question the ending, okay. I don't want to give away what the ending actually is, okay. This is about 40 to 42 pages of story, as each of the previous four books were. I can't see what caused the delay for the last 7 months. Um, but like I said, it's a good story. It really is. Okay. It's probably the best turtle story that's come out in a while. Definitely worth picking up when it comes out in trade paperback. Will I pick it up? More than likely, yeah. Just so I have it all in one story and I don't have to mess up the rest of the books. Okay. Obviously, they're all almost magazine size, almost, because the bags and boards don't fit because this is a weird size. But the artwork is great, story is pretty good. Okay, definitely worth getting, and in a way, I am glad that this storyline is over. I didn't think this miniseries would ever come to an end. But thank you, Kevin Eastman, for ending it, for giving us a fantastic story, the last story of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And hopefully you have another one lying around somewhere, okay, in an alternate universe where it could be either equally as good, if not better. Just please keep to the schedule this time around, all right? So next, we have the favorite covers of, uh, well, not just last week, but the week before, because there were some books that I did get from the week previous. All right, so let's take a look at some of those covers. All right, we got the new Amazing Spider-Man #1. This cover was done by Patrick Gleason, and as you can see, it's a web cover. This wasn't the only web cover that he did. All right, now I didn't get this one, but I figured I'd show it off since I'm showing off this one by Patrick Gleason. This is the Green Goblin cover. Okay, there is another one that's going to be coming out, but that's for issue #2, and I'll hold off to show what that one's going to be like when that comes out. But this cover is a special exclusive cover. It's being sold by Mutant Beaver Comics, as well in Mutant Beaver Comics in Canada, Scott's Collectibles in the UK, and for here in the United States, it's being sold through Patrick Gleason's own Big Cartel, which is Big Cartel, which is his web store. All right, so if any of you are interested in picking this up, that's where you'll find it. With Amazing Spider-Man #1, the Goblin Queen, the Queen Goblin cover. One's a trade dress. There is a variant, a virgin cover variant of it, and you can find that just about anywhere. Okay, that's not as exclusive as this one is. The second cover is Jenny Frizen's Catwoman #42. This came out last week, April 20th. So as you can see, this is a pretty great cover. What I like about this is the shadow in the background. It's different. It's slightly different from how Catwoman actually is. You see the ears and the mask lining that you can't see how the hair has a different shape from in her face. So the shadow is different. The shadow shows as if she has the costume on, which I think is pretty cool. Okay, the white background definitely makes her stand out. I like how she is a slightly different black than the shadow, and the lingerie looks good too. I'm gonna admit it. Okay, but I think this is one of Jenny Frizen's better covers. And the next one on the list is Punisher #2. Now, this is a pretty simple cover, okay? And from the way the covers have looked, looks like Punisher is essentially fighting a bunch of samurais. So, I mean, yeah, the samurai stars on his current, not his current, his old skull uniform, okay? They're trying to give him a different one. Marvel, please stick with this one. The other one doesn't look so hot. But anyway, one of the things I like about this cover is actually the color of the blood. The color of the blood looks real. I almost thought it was real. I thought that someone had put a smudge on the cover. But whoever did this, I think it was Jesus Saiz, or whoever colored it, did such a fantastic job, in my opinion. Okay, because blood can sometimes be a little weird to do, you know, because blood isn't exactly red. It's a darkish red. Sometimes it could be lighter, sometimes it could be darker, depending on the light. But I think this one nailed it perfectly. All right, so nice job, Jesus Saiz. The next one I have on my favorite covers list is Shang-Chi #11. Now, this is the Spider-Man 60th anniversary cover, so this is a cross between Spider-Man and Shang-Chi. I think it's a different take, just like the rest of them are, but this is one of the better ones in my opinion. This one was done by Raza Murdoch, or as he's just known as Raza, and he does some great covers. Now, is this one of the really great ones? No, but just because his name was on it, I had to get it. Okay. And last but not least is this is my cover of the week, is Red Sonja #8. This is the D cover drawn by Souza Micah. Souza Micah, as far as I know, has been around since about 2018 when she did a miniseries through Black Mass Studios, which was, I think it was Black AF Devils Die. So ever since I've seen her over the past year, her artwork has just been getting better and better. All right. So this cover is absolutely fantastic. A lot of the Red Sonja covers, obviously by Dynamite Comics, tend to be a little bit more on the risque side. This one is done in good taste. Absolutely beautiful. I love how the hair flows down and blends into the fire in the background. Nice job, Miss Souza Micah. Keep up the fantastic work. I look forward to seeing more and more great covers from you in the future. And please don't change your style, because you're rocking it. Okay. So in that regard, let's go to the upcoming comics that I'm looking forward to getting this Wednesday, May 4th. All right. So one of them is Avengers Forever number 5, sorry. And this is the Spider-Man 60th anniversary cover, just like the previous one with Shang-Chi. And this one shows obviously Spider-Man upside down. I'm not sure who he's supposed to be meshed with. I have to do a little more research on that one. It almost looks like it's Ant-Man, but I'm not quite sure. If anyone knows, please leave me a note in the comment down below. Okay, the next one is Batman 123. Like I said previously, this is the 5th part of the Shadow War storyline. Then we have another one by DC Comics, Flashpoint Beyond. So this is supposed to also connect to the Dark Crisis storyline and is the sequel to the Flashpoint storyline from a number of years ago. Okay, whereas Flashpoint, not only was it a great miniseries, but it also spawned a 1 or 2 episode one or two episodes on the Flash from CW11. Pick it up, definitely worth the read. All right. It is also what caused the New 52 to be born. Okay, because Flashpoint is what ended the the previous original universe and brought us the New 52 at the end of the storyline. Last but not least, so this is the comic of the week. It's called Twig. All right, is one of the most anticipated comic books over the last 1 or 2 months. This book has spawned 62 different variant covers. Okay, 62 for a book that essentially has no ties to anything else other than its creator, which is excuse me, which is Scotty Young. It's a huge. They're obviously expecting this thing to do well and to catch such a firestorm that most of these variant covers will be sold. I'm just gonna get the 1 or 2 of the main covers that are whatchamacallit for a cover price. And I'm gonna just see wherever the whatchamacallit. Hold on 1 second. All right, sorry, as I was saying. So, with this story, I'll see where the chips fall where they may, and pick up whatever variant I happen to like. Okay, so like I said, this isn't the end of the video. There's still a little more segment because this Saturday is Free Comic Book Day. Yes, we're back to Free Comic Book Day being on the day that it's supposed to be, which is the first Saturday of the month of May. Because of COVID last year and because of all of the the policies and the mandates that were going on throughout the country, Free Comic Book Day wound up in August. But this year we're back to it being the first Saturday in May. Thank God, because I definitely missed this last year. So this Saturday, May 7th, these are some of the books that I'm looking forward to. I just picked out 4 of them. One is Dark Crisis, all right, by DC Comics. The other one is from IDW, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Next one is by Marvel Comics, Judgment Day, which is essentially the Avengers, the Eternals, and the X-Men all fighting against each other. And last but not least, Nottingham from Mad Cave Studios. This is Mad Cave Studios' a different take on Robin Hood. Definitely worth reading. When the first 5 issues first came out, it was hot as hell. I don't know how the next ones are, but I've been reading them, and so far the stories seems to do really well. Don't know how the sales are, but I hope that it catches fire like it did before, because the writer and the artist, they're doing a fantastic job in my opinion. All right, so that's all that we have today. Let me just get this off the screen so you don't have to look at it anymore. All right, thank you very much. So when you get the chance, leave a comment down below. Let me know how I'm doing. If you like this video, didn't like this video, if you think something could be added to the show, let me know when you get the chance, either here or you could let me know on my Instagram channel, ComicsRGreat. So you'll also catch me at Team Nerd Herd with their cover lovers this week. It's going to be at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern with their special guest Rena Vision. Then also they have their Mondo Mail Call, also at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. Check them out. You'll find the link in the comments down below or in the description. All right. Thank you very much for joining me. Again, this is Comics Are Great and signing off. And remember, comics are great and so are you. Later.